Welcome back to Make Money Online. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and click that notification bell. Can XRP holders swing trade their way out of a bear market? Stick around and let's find out. XRP, among other altcoins, is experiencing a potentially bearish market. This was the result following the last few days of trading of altcoins relative to Bitcoin. The bearish trend of XRP would naturally be traced to the dismal state that it's been since the onset of the SEC's illegal security claims against XRP's parent company Ripple and its chairman Larson, as well as its CEO Brett Garlinghouse. Any anti-XRP agent would be quick to point their fingers at this as the cause of the recent dip of the coin from its first major high of 30 cents since the lawsuit began to 27 cents as of the 23rd of January 2021. But it is different this time. Though different parties have different answers, what everyone can agree on is the fact that the altcoin market capitalization tends to dip every time there's a drop in Bitcoin's price, as we have now. This can partly be attributed to the similarities between the cryptos and also to the fact that altcoins are alternatives to digital gold. And every so often, institutions start to prefer the digital gold narrative to altcoins. If we compare the trend of the entire cryptocurrency market against Bitcoin's value, we think that we'll see a major downward trend in the trace. This downward trend represents an exponential loss, but this bearish trend is majorly temporary and is not expected to be for long. The concern is how to actually make something of the current bearish market and probably earn something off it. What's the way out of the short-lived bear market? Is it swing trading or hodling? Or better put, would you rather swing trade your hodled cash of Ripple XRP? Naturally, we'd advise that you keep as much XRP as you can. However, if there's a potential of actually earning money off it while using some of it, as opposed to all of it, it's been suggested that swing trading might be the way to go. Some analysts have suggested that it's ideal to swing trade altcoins, rather than hodl them, as the only asset worth hodling over a prolonged period could very well be Bitcoin. Altcoins are classified as oscillators and degenerators, which suggests that retail traders may divide crypto like XRP in their portfolio based on when and how to trade them for Bitcoin while turning a profit. Though some may argue that hodling a cap-weighted index of a basket of altcoins would give returns similar to those of Bitcoin's based on the momentum. It is evident from recent sell-off triggered by Bitcoin's most recent dip that several swing traders may have registered unrealized profits in altcoins like XRP, as well as others like Polkadot. However, hodling altcoins in the long term has turned out to be one for the long wait. Also, tokens like XRP, ZEC, and XMR have struggled to make a comeback to pre-2018 levels, despite Bitcoin's prolonged price rally and the recent investment flow into altcoins. As the flow of investment shifts to altcoins, swings are expected to be increasingly volatile, while resulting in relatively high profits. Double-digit gains spread over a market cycle when Bitcoin's price rally goes sideways. This chart shows that XRP is overall bearish trading inside the red channel. But since it's approaching a strong demand zone as shown in green, we'll be looking for long-term buy setups. The upper red trend line is not valid yet, only connecting two swings, so we'll be waiting for a third swing to form around it to consider it valid. In this case, the third swing would be considered our trigger swing. Until the buy is activated, XRP would be overall bearish trading inside the red channel and can still dive inside the huge demand areas in green before going up. In this case, we'll be looking for buy setups on lower time frames, M30 and H1, as it approaches the lower red trend line, acting as an oversold area. And of course, as XRP approaches our upper blue supply zones, we'll be looking for sell setups. This chart shows the price pair of XRPUSD has been holding above the support structure. If price continues to hold above the structure, we expect the price to move higher, pending a potential bust out of its current bearish trend. The content on this chart is subject to change at any time and is provided for the sole purpose of assisting interested traders in making independent investment decisions. This chart shows a surface analysis of XRP's current price trend and its potential for traders. XRPUSD was about to form this huge bottom from where it can build up to form some solid potentials ahead. Therefore, it's necessary that XRPUSD shows up with a proper price action. Also important is the anti-cyclicality underlying the XRPUSD to majors like Bitcoin or Ethereum, as it's often showing different formations and directions. Observing all the important levels and likely outcomes we should consider with XRPUSD's established structure and the upcoming movements ahead. We can see here how XRPUSD is about to form this massive descending triangle formation. In this triangle, XRP already completed waves A to C of the coherent wave count, and now setting up to form the wave D, which will run directly into the upper boundary from where a pullback is likely, and therefore also the origin of the final wave E to the downside, completing the wave count and moving on to test the decisive conformational bounce cluster, marked in the chart in blue. Taking all this into consideration, XRPUSD in a situation where it's about to complete this potential major bottom in the structure. Therefore, when XRPUSD manages to finalize the wave count within the schedule and bounce within the conformational bounce cluster properly, this can lead to the breakout above the upper boundary and therefore completion of the triangle. After that, crucial confirmations need to take place to fully validate the inverse head and shoulders formation. Therefore, XRPUSD needs to sustainably move above the EMAs and hold above to strongly form the breakout above the neckline and activate upside targets. In this case, it's important that XRPUSD holds above these levels and does not pull back again. This chart shows the entry point of XRP at 46 cents in the bullish trend. Target 1 is at 12 cents, target 2 is at 0.8 cents, while target 3 is at 0.3 cents. Take profit is at 70 cents. If the price moves below 12 cents, then the long-term uptrend is broken and the chart would then be going bearish by setting a lower low, and that bull run on the right won't happen. At worst, the price will retest the March low. The projection prices for long entry are set at 3 different targets. It just might take a while before the coin can start another bull run. This pattern is a diamond pattern. Here you can see XRP is ready to go higher due to the fact that the price is still nearby support zone and trying to bounce. Price can make a new uptrend and go up to resistance level. XRPUSD is now somewhat recovered within the structure and is building an interesting formation on the local time frame perspective here. It's interesting also because of the trading aspects, therefore I detect all the important levels and likely outcomes we should consider. Overall, XRPUSD has formed a good formation out of trading aspects, and this formation can either be traded aggressively with immediate entry or conservatively with entry after confirmation. Although aggressive entry is also possible here, the conservative will be much smarter, as it will point to the final setup to move on with. XRPUSD in recent encounters is one of the more volatile pairs within the market. Such volatility can be grounds for great opportunities when this is done right. However, it's important to assess the divergences within the market for a possible arbitrage considering XRPUSD in the established structure and the upcoming movements ahead. We can see here how XRPUSD is now testing this important established resistance marked in red, formed by the previous price action, which was support before and is now resistance. This is why we can expect a pullback firstly to emerge here moving into the lower levels. This pullback will continue till there is support found in which XRPUSD can reverse the dynamic and back up again. In this case, it's likely to happen with XRPUSD moving into the backup cluster marked in my chart in blue, where the 50% as well as the 61.8% Fibonacci support is lying. When XRPUSD moves into this cluster, there's a strong possibility for a stabilization given and a bounce that it has the potential to finally move above the resistance and hold this level. This will indicate further rising and testing of upper levels as seen in the chart. With a more middle-term perspective, XRPUSD needs to stabilize sustainably above the resistance to continue further. We hope you found this video informative, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and click that notification bell. What other XRP news would you like us to address? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're here, go ahead and click on one of the videos on your screen. See you next time.